you ever been in your local gym and walked by an empty basket and thought to yourself, man, I wish I could go shoot some hoops. I just never learned the proper way? Well, today, through some of these basic steps, I will teach you how to shoot a basketball. My background in basketball started at a very young age. I began playing at around 7 years old and played competitively all the way up through high school. Now, as I've taken my time in college, I play at the rec and play more as a leisure activity. The website that I used was Breakthrough Basketball, and the author, Jeff Hefner, was similar in my situation. He writes books on basketball, teaches clinics on it, conducts camps. He's coached guys from high school all the way up through the NBA through these steps that I use. These main steps are going to be your pre-shot, your release, and then your follow-through finish. Getting into the pre-shot, your first goal is to focus on the rim. You can't do anything without focusing on your target. Your next step is going to be your feet placement. This will be about shoulder width apart, your feet are going to be, and for a right-handed shooter, you're going to put your right foot just slightly in front of your left hand. You're going to want to differentiate that based on your hand placement. For the final step in the pre-shot, you're going to want to take the ball and you're going to focus on your ball and arm placement. You're going to want to rest the ball on your shooting hand on their fingertips. You should be able to see a gap in between the ball and your finger and your palm. Your left hand should act as a guide, or your non-dominant hand for that matter should act as a guide on the side of the basketball. After this, you're going to want to put it off your right side of your eye, left hand, left side of your eye, and you want to keep your elbow bent at about a 90-degree angle. This takes us into the release. For the release, you're going to want to keep the ball in the same area, just off the right side of your eye, and you're going to want to jump straight up towards the ceiling. This allows you to gain ground towards the basket and use your whole entire body. After you jump, you're going to want to extend your arms straight up while you are in the air, towards the ceiling as well as towards the hoop. Once you are right before the peak of your jump, you're going to want to release the ball and then land softly. This takes us into one of the most important parts, which is your follow through and your release. After you have released the ball, you're going to want to snap your wrist. This will create and generate backspin. Backspin is very important on the basketball as it helps the ball land softer on the rim and increases your chances of the ball falling through the hoop. Finally, after you have released it, you want to follow through. This means to keep your wrist relaxed and your hands floppy. Your fingers going to want to point towards the rim and towards the basket. And you're going to want to hold this until the ball hits the rim. This just ensures a rhythm and a routine and helps your shot land softer and will hopefully allow the ball to go in the hoop more times than it does not. In conclusion, the 3 points again are going to be the pre-shot, your release, and your follow-through. All three of these are going to be based off of repetition and practice. Once you gain a sense of comfortableness around it, that will help you become a better shooter. Again, to focus the main goal is to keep your focus on the rim. You can't make a basket without looking at the rim, and to always stay positive. The game is very fun and challenging, and that's what keeps people coming back. Now it's time to get into the gym and start practicing that sweet jumper.